Morning everybody. I'm a couple of minutes early, but I'm just sitting looking at all the comments already. How busy are we from all over the world? From Karina in Holland and Carolyn Monteo. Gosh, loads of comments. It's lovely to have your company this morning. So we've got morning Lisa with a spanner. Cold and rainy in County Armagh. No food shopping today, no doing anything today here, it's just chucking it down with it. I'm hoping, morning on, Alex in first again, on Facebook. Morning Alex and Debbie and Denise and Debbie Day and Maud. Flood warning, yes Debbie Deakin, it's absolutely teeming. I have a problem with my dog. She's frightened of the rain. If it doesn't stop raining all day, she will be cross all four legs in the house and just won't go outside. So I'm hoping that the internet connection doesn't get a bit dodgy. Morning Geraldine in Western Australia, keeping us safe. Yes, we're good, thank you. Here anyway. Carol B in Chicago. Morning Marilyn. Rainy in Hampshire. I think we're just a blanket of wet at the moment, and it's such a shame because all the mud was drying up in the fields, and now I'm going to have to get my wellies out again. Christina's wonky cutting out today. Morning Cheryl in Pennsylvania. And oh gosh, I'll never get your name right, will I? Dakshani from India. Hello. It's snowing in New York. Good grief. What's going on with our weather? Anyway, I've got a few new fabrics to show you. I'm going to be really quick. And my new book. And then we're going to make a boxed cushion cover with an invisible zip. Oh, I thought I'd forgotten the cushion. I'm only going to make quite a small one, but this is the same kind of technique that you'd use if you wanted to make a cushion for a sofa or a garden chair or a window bench or anything like that. So more about the technique. Leslie's dog doesn't like rain either. Thank you very much. Sarah likes me cardi. Grey in Holland. Wet and cold. Salutations de la Suisse, Francois. Salutations to you too. Sorry, that was a bit of a slurp, wasn't it? Right. I'll have a look at that in a minute. I've got a new book coming out. I don't know where it's officially going to launch. I haven't heard anything yet, so I'm kind of thinking I'll do it. So we've got these on pre-order on the website. It is called So Eco-Friendly. It's not actually being published until the end of July. So unless it comes in early, and things are a little bit slow at the moment, but hopefully it'll be the end of July. And this is 25 projects about things to reuse. So trying to do our little bit. You know, I'm not changing the world, but if we can stop throwing so many things away and have things that are reusable, whether that's, you know, gift wrap or face wipes, then I think we're doing our little bit. But there's lots of hints and tips in here as well. So again, it's on pre-order. If you wanted this signing, can you leave me a message when you place your order as well and let me know who you want it signing to. So eco-friendly. There's a bit of information in here as well about, so I keep getting my head in the way, don't I? About different types of sustainable fabrics, or as sustainable as we can make them. So using things like hemp and linen, bamboo, cotton, recycled polyester. Actually, recycled polyester is a really nice fabric. So obviously, what was I using it for? No, that wasn't that one. Yes, it was that one. The big bag. That denim is actually recycled polyester denim. And you'd barely know the difference, would you? It's really interesting when you look into it. So hessian and burlap and cork fabric and hemp and all of that kind of thing. So there's a bit of an explanation. Even recycled threads, you can get recycled polyester threads. We've got those on the website actually. And there's lots of different techniques in here as well. So things that you can use and reuse, like your sandwich wraps. You know, I know a lot of these are things that you may have seen before, but you may not have seen instructions on how to make them before. So bottle bags instead of carrier bags, stocking gift bags. So these are Christmas stockings, but they've got a drawstring around the top. so you can reuse them. There's a few gift ideas in here. This is instead of carrier bags. I'm not a fan of huge bags when I go shopping because I can't carry them. I find it a lot easier to have smaller ones. This one's about this big, but to have smaller ones, maybe carry 2 or 3 of those. Fabric gift wrap. You know, this was brought to my attention by my son, who's an ecologist and a tree surgeon, a few years ago, just how much waste we have in paper and throwing it away. So those are reusable gift wraps. Again, more gift ideas there. A repair kit. So, you know, to take care of your things instead of throwing them away, maybe. An apron, that's going to keep you cleaner, so you're not using so much in your washing machine and detergent and things like that. So anyway, we've got 25 projects in there, all with kind of the planet in mind, if you like. So that's on the website, and again, that's pre-order. Do let me know if you want it signing. Oh, I've missed lots of you now. Morning, Christine Bolton. Diane, it's not having problems as far as I know. That's the Half Yard Club. If you can send an email to info@halfyardclub.com, then somebody will get back to you. Caroline's normally pretty well on the ball at the weekends as well. So I'll type that out later on and leave a message underneath the live stream, so you can get in touch with them if you need to. Who else have we got? Karen's here. Lisa and her amazing span. Don't big your part up, Lisa. It's only a little spanner. It is blue though. Yeah, a little blue spanner. Hi Susan in Leyland, raining in North Wales. Morning, Kim. Raining in London as well, she was saying this morning. We've got some new fabrics to show you as well. What are you making with this glitter fabric? We've had a few glitter fabrics on the website, and honestly, we're selling out of them left, right and centre, and I just want to know what you're making with them. I think I might be a bit dark above. This is a really bright turquoise, and again, it's a glitter fabric. These are all new ones. So I wouldn't make a dress out of it unless it's fancy dress, to be honest. But if you're bag making and things like that, that's absolutely perfect. And the glitter doesn't shed; it doesn't come off anywhere. So let me just show you the different colours. Deborah, the house projects behind me are members' projects from my Half Yard Club. You can have a look around for free for a month if you like. So it's all the W's halfyardsewingclub.com. And when you go through to checkout, if you put in the word welcome in capital letters, you'll get a free month. But those are members' projects. We've got summer wonky street cushion coming up next month, haven't we? I better make it. So there's turquoise. And we've got a pale grey with silver flecks. And we've got a lime green. These are all sparkly, look. And this one's been really, really popular and only went on the website yesterday. This is, I think it's called Mandarin. I'm not sure on prices, but have a look on the website and you'll be able to have a look there. But I'd just love to see what you're making with them, because they're selling so much of these. It's ridiculous. But they're really nice. They're very unusual as well. We do have other colours on the website as well. Morning, Barbara. Morning, Jan. These are brand new as well. I will be quick with these because we want to get on with some sewing, don't we, on a Saturday morning. These are brush blenders. So that's a little piece because I'm going to actually use some of this because it actually goes very well. Whoops, I don't know what that was. With the Corinne fabric that I'm using today as well. That's a new one too. So they just match really well, I thought. So a little bit more oh, that looks nice as well, actually. Mind you, so does. Oh, now then, did I pick the right one with the fuchsia pink? Yes, I think I did. But they just blend beautifully with so many different colours. So it adds texture, it adds interest, but it doesn't detract from patterns. So, for instance, if I'm going, actually that would look nice with the fuchsia as well, wouldn't it? There's so many that mix and match. These are all the Corinne. These are all new on the website as well. So we've got purples, and almost like desert camouflage, that one, isn't it? And there's the blues, and they've got the greens as well. Hello Dominica from Poland on YouTube. Shirley and Ellen's a bit late. Sorry, I haven't missed anything just yet, Helen. Right, that's it. New fabrics. Let's do some sewing. Oh, just to mention Wonky Street kits as well. I think we've got 3 left, and when they're gone, we're going to be taking orders for them specifically, because we had hundreds of them, and I don't want to kind of be left with hundreds more. So we're going to have them packed up to order. So just to let you know, if you want one, let me know. Oh, Erica, oh, I hope you like my new book that you're going to review for Amazon. But do be honest, you know, if you don't like it, then say so. A shout out for Sophie and Claire at the Half Yard Sewing Club for excellent help and very speedy. Thank you very much. They're really on the ball, my girls. Thank you very much. If they're not watching, then I shall pass on your messages to them. Hi Shirley. Hi Zoe in Brisbane in Australia. Morning Megan. Right, I'll try and keep up with your messages, but with getting loads, 460 on Facebook. Can't see how many on YouTube. I think you're around there. I had so much trouble trying to see the screen last week. I was kind of doing this. I've enlarged everything, so I've only got your messages on here. Fuchsia and yellow, look, they do they not? Oh, Sabine. If it keeps you happy, then I'm sure he's delighted with all the new fabrics. How could he not be? Guilt him, that's the way to do it. Right. So, I'm going to use piping. I'm going to use an invisible zip. And I'm going to use this fabric. I've got 2 pieces cut. So that's going to be the top of the bottom, and this is going to be around the sides. Hi, Anne in Australia. I asked a question on Half Yard Club, but no answer followed. Any ideas, Jules? What was your question? I can maybe have a look. I've got Half Yard Club up here. Ask a member. Shall I show you what I'm doing? Bear with me a sec while I just do that. Okay, so can anyone tell me, that was Megan, Carol, Mary, Pat, Sylvia, Jules, I can't see your question, Jules. These are all questions on the Half Yard Club. Was it on the Ask a Member, or was it an email? I can't see you on there, but do let me know. Right, how do I get off that then? Sorry, I'm going to have a look at Ask a Member for just a second while I come back to you. Oh, this modern technology, huh? I don't know. Right, you go down there, you go down there. No, I'll have another look through when I finish, but I couldn't see a question on there. Jean, the anchor bag was on one of the lives. If you have a look, was it last week, on the videos on Facebook, on my Facebook page, and just have a scroll down. That was a tutorial. Oh, no, it wasn't. That was on the Search Press Facebook page, but it's a free tutorial, so you can still have a look at that. Morning, Pauline. Anyway, let's make this up. So there's my ruler. I've measured, this obviously isn't a boxed cushion, but it is a little fat one, so I was kind of thinking it would fit into a box quite nicely. So what I'm going to do is take the measurement, not as it is flat, as if I was making a cushion with 2 sides. I'm letting this kind of be square, and it's going to measure 14 inches across. So I'm going to actually cut my fabric, I have cut my fabric to 15 inches across. So that allows the base to be square down here. And in this direction, that's going to be 8 inches as a finished size. So I've cut my fabric to 9 inches. So that's 15 inches this way, 9 inches that way. And then the side bits, I think the finished size there is going to be 3 inches. So I've cut the fabric to 4 inches to allow for a seam allowance. But let me show you what I've done. So I've got the top and the bottom pieces at 15 by 9. So I've got 2 pieces of that. And then I have one side piece at 4 inches by 15. And the opposite side piece is where I'm going to fit the zip. So this piece, I've added an extra inch to it. So this was 5 inches by 15, and then I've cut that in half. So the zip's going to go straight down the centre. Linda's birthday. And then the side pieces across here, I've actually cut those too long, haven't I? Let's cut those down to size. Those need to be 9 inches. So let me just chop those down so they're the same as that. I just need to iron that as well, methinks. So I'll need 2 pieces, 1 for each end, at 9 inches. Right, so let me move that out of the way. So I'm going to put piping around the top and around the bottom. This is a pre-made piping, so I'm not actually making the piping up here. Hello, a letter in South Africa. So let's do these one at a time. Right, and I'm going to start at the bottom or at the back, so the bit where the zip's going to be is where I'm going to overlap this. I have shown you how to do piping before, but we'll do it again because I like it. So I'm going to mark the centre back by just creasing it, and then I'm going to start sewing the raw edge here to the raw edge there. In fact, we don't go this way around, but I'm leaving a little bit overlapping or unsewn, so that's about 1.5 inches or so. I'm not going to put the zipper foot on the sewing machine at all, because this piping is so fine it doesn't really need it. It's pretty flat. So let's do this and that, and we'll start to sew. So all I'm doing, I'm sewing along the line of the stitches where the piping has already been made. As I'm coming up to the corner here, I'm going to stop a short way away and snip up to that stitch line. And then I can bend the piping around the corner. You'll never get it 100% square. Another snip in there, I think. I can hear birds singing outside in this weather. And so around the corner, always stop with your needle down. And then carry on. All the way round. I think piping gives a really nice kind of shop bought look. And a nice contrast of piping is like having a nice outline around a picture. So again, let's snip into the corner like so. And that again allows me to just bend that around the corner. Oh, I don't think, we've not got any piping in stock. Right, we ought to look into that, hadn't we? And there we go. So keep looking out on the website, because we tend to sell out of an awful lot of things very quickly, particularly after we've shown you things or new things on these live sessions. But we do get things back in stock regularly and just keep popping them back, so do keep checking it out. So again, just coming up to this corner. And I will need to do the same on the other side, but we'll do the zip next. So snip into these bits here. I have put piping on bags, Sarah. I love the look of it, and I think this fine piping is really good. It's not too chunky. And again, it's easy to sew. Round we go. Again, you're never going to have that perfect square corner with piping because it's just, you won't do it. Coming up to the next one. This sewing machine, Joanne, is an Elna 570A. It's my daughter's sewing machine. And yes, I would recommend anything Elna. I have an Elna myself. Oh no, sorry, mine's a Janome, but it's the same company. Corner. And I buy my sewing machines just to mention. I'm not an ambassador for anybody. For anything. I'm not given free things, and I'm not paid to promote anything, because I'd rather, I think it's more believable if I say, you know, if you knew that I was being given sewing machines, I say, oh, this Elna's amazing. You're the one to think, well, you would say that, were you given it, weren't you? So I don't do that. Anyway, just the way we are. Making a box cushion cover, Julie Jones. I'll think it. Let me know if you're taking a screenshot, and I'll stop and smile. Do you want to see the back? She likes my hair. It's been, oh gosh, 18 months in between hairdressers, so yeah, a long time. Anyway, I've left another, well, you can see what I've done. I've left two ends like so, because I want to join these together practically invisibly. So I'm going to open up one side of this stitching, like so, by about an inch or so. That will do. And then I'm going to cut the cord off. So I've got a piece of fabric there with no cord inside it, and I'm going to fold the end of it over just to make it neat. And then this side, can you see what I'm doing? That's folded over. This side's going to just tuck inside. So I'm going to chop that off like that, so that I can push that end inside there. Just need to chop a little bit more off, because the idea is, oops, that's come undone, that the two ends of the cord kind of meet inside there. And that wraps over there, and then I've got a nice neat join, and I can sew down there. And just over the lump. Okay, we'll do the second half in just a second. So I need to do the same with that. Well, let's put this zip in. So I'll take my two smaller pieces. Now, if you've not sewn an invisible zip before, you can buy invisible zip feet for your sewing machine, which are really useful. If you're going to be doing a bit of dressmaking, it's worth investing in one of those. But if you don't have one, then there are ways of fitting an invisible zip. So we're going to do that. All right, so I've got the iron on. So an invisible zip has normally a teardrop shape, and the teeth, or it's actually a coil, is on the back. So from the front you shouldn't see anything at all. It should just look just like a seam. Can you sew cord with binding without pre-binding? Cord with binding without pre-binding. Oh, do you mean sew all in one go? You can. I think it's worth taking the time to actually wrap your fabric around the cord and sew it first, because let me show you this. So this is pre-made, all right, but when you're making your own, you've got your cord inside, you wrap your fabric around it. The distance between the edge of the cord and the edge of your fabric is your seam allowance. So that's why I've allowed 1/2 inch seam allowance on this cushion cover. if you're doing that all in one process, so you've got your fabric, the cord wrapped around there, and then another layer of fabric on the top, you can't guarantee that that's not going to twist a little bit. So I personally would make all of the piping at first and then sew it on afterwards. So it may seem quicker, and if you're very confident, then that's absolutely fine. But I just think I'd take my time and do it separately. Now the teeth on invisible zips kind of curl over. They curl to the back, and when you're sewing the zip in, you want to sew just inside where those teeth are. So just to help it out a little bit, I'm going to iron the teeth away from the zip tape. They will curl back again. I'm not hovering the iron too long on the actual coil because it is nylon, I don't want to melt it. So do the same on this side. If you're sewing an invisible zip into a garment, then, well, whatever you're sewing it into, you sew the seam afterwards. So unlike with a regular zip, this is sewn in a different way. Right, so that's that. Now we're going to sew right sides together. So in other words, the pull here is going to face down and your teeth are all facing up. Okay. If you wanted to use a little bit of, have I got any glue to hold that in place, then you could do. I don't normally pin actually with zips, but these can be quite useful if you have one. And that's going to go centrally down here. There we go. You could put the zip into the seam with the piping. I just think it's a little bit easier. Give yourself a bit more room here. Right. Then I'm going to fold open the coil. So there's my zip, look, I'm folding that back. That's why the ironing helped. And you need to sew straight along that line there. And again, I'm not using a zipper foot or anything. What I am going to do, because I want to do this, so I can see exactly where I'm sewing. Because if you sew from an angle, it's quite easy to sew over the teeth. So do excuse the top of my head while I'm just doing this, but I want it to be accurate. Right. Now you'll never get down to the end of the zip because the excuse me, the slider's in the way there. But just sew as far as you can. Like so. I'm just going to zip this up because I've got a feeling I caught some of the teeth at the top. Whoops. I caught some of the teeth. So see, that's when I took my head out of the way. So I'm just going to unpick a few stitches there. That was right down at the bottom of the seam. I've got a few more there as well. Look, what am I playing at? So what I've done, look, that was going to be so nice, look. I've got as far as there, and I've just got a little bit of fabric, a bit too tight. just there. Let's do it from this side. Don't want to see me do that, do you? Right. I love it when you talk to each other. It's getting to be quite a nice social Saturday morning, isn't it? Have I got it? See, if this wasn't live, you'd never see this. That would be very carefully edited out. That's it. Morning, Cynthia. Ailb. My mini iron is a prim. We do have them on the website. Done it again there. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. Okay, so I just need to sew over those little bits again. Always try that. Just make sure that your zip is actually going to close. I think we're okay there actually. Right, and then we'll put the other side on. Perfect now. So, right sides together again. So this is, oh, the top of my head again, sorry. So let me fold that over and then flip that over again, so that the zip slider is facing down again. And I'm going to pop some glue on that again. And I think I need to clean my table. I've got glue all over it, haven't I? So just along the edge there. If you pin, then I would suggest that you then tack by hand as well, and then take the pins out, so you're not sewing around pins. I'm not too good at sewing around pins on zips. Just making sure those ends are matched up there. That's fine. Okay, so just like before, I'm going to open up the zip and sew along the coil, just matching the ends of that up. And I'm doing this so I can get my nose right over the top, so I don't sew too close to the teeth again. Again, if you've got your zipper foot on your sewing machine, that's not going to happen, because an invisible zipper foot will open out the coil as you're sewing, so you don't get to sew over the teeth, the coil. Better not do it again on this side, had I? You'll all be switching off. And again, as far as you can go. You won't get right down to the end of the zip, but go as far as you can go. And we just check that that's not caught on any fabric. Oh, come on. There we go. Now we've got the two open ends here. And do that all the way up. So what we're going to do is to turn the fabric over, zip out of the way, and we're going to sew along here and up to where I finished sewing here. And we'll do that at both ends. So try and keep that the same seam allowance and up as far as you can. And where the seams meet, that should be pretty seamless. So again on this end, fold that over. I'm going to just move that slider out of the way slightly. And I'm going to sew to the top of the zip. or to the top of the coil on this end. So this is the bit that you don't normally do in dressmaking because the top of the zip is going to be open. I think I'll just move that a bit further down. So again, right down to where that seam was there. So there's my zip fitted in the middle of the seam. So it's quite nice on fabric like this because you barely see it, do you? I'm just going to give that a quick iron. Just keep it nice and flat. So just as like a seam with a little zip pull there. Okay. Then I'm going to take the other side pieces and sew these together into a square. So right sides together, the short bits to the long bits. So I'm making the shape of the cushion. I'm using the same 1/2 inch seam allowance over the end of the zip, like so. There's another long piece. It's quite easy with this fabric particularly because it doesn't have a right and wrong side. It's quite clever. And then the next short piece. Like so. And then we're going to join all of these together. So I've got the shape of the cushion. Right. Then we'll put the top on. I'll do the other piping in a bit. Because you just sat and watched that, haven't you? Morning, Mary Bennett. Oh, you've got a Paulie cat as well. Oh, so yes, I've got that now. So I've sewn all 4 pieces together to make a square shape. Then this needs to go right sides together. So I want to make sure that the overlap that I had in my piping goes to the back. When you come to sew in the base here, match up the edges of the fabric. Don't start sewing from the seam allowance, you start sewing from there. And we will have some pins in there. And there we go. The sun's out in Wicklow in Ireland, yay! And that should match perfectly. Now remember, you can make these in any size that you like. I'll show you why there. Actually, this is the book with the cushions in, and that was it. This isn't an invisible zip, but that was the box cushion that I made in the book. This is So Outdoor Living, for an outdoor chair. So I used a piece of foam for this one. I did kind of round off the corners, but then I also made a longer one for a bench. So that's made in exactly the same way as what I'm doing right now, and that's got the piping around it as well. So posh garden parties. So I'll pin this all the way around before I sew and make sure that those corners are matching. I prefer actually to have the seams down the corners rather than use one piece of fabric that goes all the way around. I think it helps to keep the corners square, and it is actually easier to be accurate than having one big piece, if you were wondering. Yeah, the coral wonky kit sold out almost straight away. We couldn't get any more coral canvas, which is why coral never came back in stock again, Megan. But we do have some, we did, I don't know if we do now, we do have wonkies, but not very many of them left now. Oh, it's raining really hard here in Lincolnshire as well, Wendy. It's awful. suppose the garden will benefit. There has to be a plus somewhere, doesn't it, all this rain? Okay, so now I'm going to sew all the way around from the same side that I've already sewn, because I know that that's where the piping is and I want to keep the stitches nice and close to the piping. We are making, Yvonne, a boxed cushion cover with an invisible zip. Right. So nice and tight up against the piping. You can't feel it too much because this is quite a narrow piping. There we go. And right into that corner. That's why I find it easier to sew on the same side as the stitches that I've already sewn, so I can see where I'm going. That's my theory anyway. Let's open this side bit out a bit. Okay, so I'm going around the corner, so I'll just leave the needle down as I'm manoeuvring it. And I'm going to check in just a minute that I'm nice and tight up against that piping in the corners, because sometimes you're not. But you can always go back over it again if you need to. I'll show you that in just a second. So again, coming up to the next corner. Needle down on the corner. Have I got my head right over the top of what I'm doing again? If you're watching, Gary, we need to have a look at this camera. I set this one up and I think I've got it a bit too close to the top of my head. Good job I've had my roots done. Just lining up those edges. Almost there. Then we need to do the piping on the other side as well. I don't do face-to-face workshops, Sarah, I'm afraid. I really don't have the time. Commendable for anybody that does do workshops, because there's so much prep and everything involved in them, and my diary is pretty full for the next few years, I'm afraid. Okay, I could put pins back in the pin cushion, couldn't I, as I go? Ow, that's why. Can you line a box cushion? I've never lined one, to be honest. I suppose you could. Put some thought into that one. Finishing seams off might be an idea. So if you've got an overlocker or just pinking shears or something to make it a little bit neater. But I suppose really it's no different than making a bag, is it? Same kind of thing. So yes, you could line it. Right, almost there, and then I'm going to turn it the right side out. A wonky caravan. Almost back to the beginning. Right, am I there yet? And I'll show you. Oh, sorry, pressed the wrong button. So what I want to do is to just flip this over and make sure my piping's neat around the edge. That could be a little bit closer. That's good. That could be closer. So then I'm just going to take this back again and sew a little bit closer. So right up tight again against the cord, and then it was this one again. Carol's been shopping. What you bought, Carol? Was it food shopping or was it you shopping? New shoes, new handbag. That's it. Yeah, Amanda, originally I did this for garden furniture. It's quite effective, isn't it? But with that, I'm using like a polyfilled foam thing, cushion cover. I'd use a solid block of foam, I think, if I was going to do the outside chairs. Depends what kind of chairs they are, doesn't it? Right, we need some more piping around this bit now as well. So I'm just going to do the same as I did before. So we'll start off with a loose bit and sew all the way around. So it's a good time to go and put the kettle on now, if you've seen this from the beginning, because I'm just doing the same thing all over again. It seems the rain has slowed down. I can't hear it like I did before anyway. Where are, oh, that's right. In good time. Oh, I'll sew it on the right side. What do you think about an envelope cushion cover that's sewn with an overlocker? You don't necessarily have to sew it as well. Overlockers aren't just for finishing seams. I think that would work very well. Right, around we go. So if you didn't see before, I've got the raw edges of the piping matched up with the raw edge of the top of the cushion cover. As I come up to the corner here, I'm going to snip up to the seam so I can bend this around the corner. I'll try and keep it as square as I can, like so. And nice and tight to the piping around the corner. And we'll do the same on all four sides. So now, apart from the cutting out of this, this will be made up within about an hour, so it's actually quite a quick project. Oh, rain's back again. Quite a quick project, even though I sewed over some of the teeth in the zip. There you go. Around the corner. We'll carry on. Janet's jarring the chutney. What kind of chutney are you making? I made pear chutney once, that was very nice. Yes, I think we've realised that we've got a blanket of rain all across the UK. Yeah, Dunelma's a good one to buy foam from, that's where I got mine from. Quite expensive though. Sabine's preparing asparagus while watching. Nice. Oh, another little snip into that corner. Around we go. If you're new, are you new? Anybody new today? First time here? Do have a look at the other tutorials, either on my YouTube channel, they're all on there, or on Facebook. If you go to the videos section, there's loads there now, because we do 2 of these a week. So, hi April in Australia, hello to you. Stacey, this is an Elna 570A. Nice little machine. It's right in the corner. And then back to the beginning. And I'll show you what I'm doing when I get back there for those of you that have just come along. Right. So 2 bits that overlap like this. I'm going to undo the fabric around the cord on one side by about 1 inch and chop the cord off. I want the 2 ends of the cord to meet, so I need to chop that end off as well. So you can see where the cord is on the inside there. I want that to butt up against it on this side. So let's fold the end of this over. Oh, Susan, welcome along, and welcome to the club as well. She only joined last week. Oh, let me know what you think about it and what you've made, and don't forget to post your pictures and everything.
Coffee?
Oh, yes, please. Oh, you're drenched.
The cup seems a lot fuller.
How much of that is rainwater?
Cooled it down for you.
I'm spoilt. So let's fold the end of this over. Tuck that one inside. Chop that bit of thread off there, that's not very tidy. And then sew straight across, so it makes a nice fold over the end. Hazel's tidying up a sewing studio. Right, well, we're almost done. So now we need to put this side together, this one. So again, where's the join? That's going to go to the back. We'll have the zip open just a little bit so I can turn it the right side out. And let's put some pins in here. Oh, thank you, Yvonne. My nail varnish, I have my nails done. And I think it's a shellac number 44, that's as much as I know. I don't take too much notice. I wear the same colour year after year. When I go to the nail bar, Paulina, my nail lady, she's sitting there already for me with the same bottle of colour. And I did say to her, because I'm sure they just ordered it in especially for me, and I did say to her last time I went in there, have you got green? Oh, the look on her face. She actually thought I was serious. After, you know, this is like about 5 years of wearing the same nail varnish. I want green. Oh, good. Yes, I'm showing my everything online, can't you, Amanda? Yes, we are set to move. I don't know when. It's probably going to be early July at the moment because there's so many people moving house at the moment. So 8:50 at night in Queensland. Right, so I'm just going to sew around again, following the same stitch line that I've already sewn. Like that. And keeping it nice and tight in those corners again, so hopefully I won't have to go over them again. I'm just pulling that a little bit because the piping can sometimes kind of pucker the fabric up a little bit. So I'm just pulling it open into the corner and back around again. There we go. Videos on Debbie Shaw saying only the live ones. We do a live on Debbie Shaw Sewing on a Wednesday afternoon, so it's only those videos that are on there. We are having a new website. This is all very exciting. So there's very subtle changes to the look. There's a few more colours going on in there, but it's going to have a lot more features. We're going to be able to do gift vouchers. We're going to have lots of free projects on there as well, just simple ones. And it should be happening in about a month's time, I think. Doesn't it take a long time to build a website? So yes, that's that. We've already got the new Half-Yard Sewing Club website up and running, which is amazing. It's an incredible platform. But yeah, Debbie Shaw Sewing is going to be upgraded as well. Should be a lot easier to use. Oh, thanks, Mary. I'm glad you found it useful. I love figuring things out like this. I didn't read a tutorial on how to make a box cushion cover. I like figuring it out. And then simple ways of doing it. That's what I try to do anyway. Into the corner. An app icon would be good. I don't know how we do that, Maud. I shall have a look. Oh, thanks, Susan. Right, just going around this corner. It's growing as well. As in the amount of projects that we've got on there. I've had questions about the precision scissors. They are on order, so they're probably going to be with us by Tuesday. They'll be back in stock. But have a look around, because there's not just fabrics. We've got a lot of hardware on there. There's a lot of bag making things. There's a lot of tools. We've got needles. There are scissors on there. We don't do sewing machines, but there's practically everything else that you need. There's bag straps and handles and chains and novelty things. And do have a look at the sales section. Can you please have a look at the sales section? Because we've kind of outgrown the warehouse. I'm saying warehouse instead of office because it's absolutely jam-packed full. We've got 3 stories in our little office, and it's absolutely overflowing. And we've got new fabrics coming in practically every day, and we need to make a bit of room. So Kim's actually discounted quite a lot of fabrics. So do scroll down to the sale bit on the website and have a look what's there. We can maybe get some of this new fabric off the floor and onto shelves. Right. A wonky ham. I was thinking I don't want to go too crazy with wonky because I don't know if everybody likes it. We're going to do a beach bag next month, and I was thinking about doing wonky beach houses, but maybe that's a bit too much wonk. Right, I'm moving far. Do you know, Lorraine, we're not moving very far at all. We're moving about half an hour down the road. The idea was to move south and be nearer the office, and we found a house we fell in love with not too far from where we are, so I've still got a lot of travelling to do. Just checking those corners like I did before. And they're all fine. So here we are. Well, that's my cushion practically finished. I don't think it needs ironing. I think I need threads cutting off. Wonky beach shirts, do you reckon? Maybe I'll do an alternative project. So those of you that don't want the wonk. Yes, we do. Those are on this one. Yes, they're on the website. If we've got any left, yes, they are. Right, let's see if it works. Now, because this isn't a square cushion, I was kind of guessing what the size was going to be. There we go, and I could have made it a bit tighter, but kind of expecting that to happen. So, whoops, so I brought some filler to push out the corners. And no harm in that. This is a good tip actually, particularly if you buy like the polyester filled cushion pads like I do. I don't like feathers. They tend to be rather round at the corners. So if you've got a nice square cushion pad, they don't always the cushion pad doesn't always go into, so cushion cover doesn't always go into the corners. I trained in upholstery years ago. And I was quite surprised actually, because this was the technique that they actually used. So I did make, it was feather filled, a whole 3-piece suite out of it. And this is what they taught you to do. And I thought, is that cheating a little bit, just filling it up with toy filler? But that's the way they do it. This is looking rather nice, don't you think? I don't think that needs any more. Oops, I want to catch my cushion in there. There we go. I think that is done. So nice and square. This is what I mean about the seams down the side. There is a technique of just putting one piece of fabric all the way around. You have to be very accurate with it, because if your fabric twists at all, then you don't get a box shape to your cushion cover. So I like these seams at the side, so it really does square them off. And then you've got your invisible zip across the back. Again, you could have put that inside the piping. I thought that might be easier. It's the back anyway, so you're not going to see it, but that could be a little bit bulky to put an invisible zip in. And that is my cushion finished. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I'm really pleased with it. I love the way that it's turned out, if I say so myself. Right, let's have a quick catch up before we go. Let's move you. Monkey Beach House. Oh really? Shall we do it? Okay. So likes making a cushion to whatever size, then whipping up a matching cushion pad for it. That's a good idea. So you get the cushion cover first, and then the pad to fit. That works very well. Not a problem, Tracy. Thank you. Yes, I shall see you again on Wednesday. Could we do a cape or a capelet one day, please? I'm trying to figure out how to do that without a pattern. That's the only thing, because if I'm doing something live like this, tend to do small projects that I can finish within an hour, but without patterns, because obviously I can't shove a pattern down the camera. Karen's got a Wendy house. Right, so I'm going to get off. I'm going to get wet. If you're around on Wednesday at 2 o'clock, then I should be live. Last week we did Facebook, YouTube and the website all at the same time. I know that was showing off, so hopefully we'll be live on YouTube and Facebook and my website all at the same time. The book the cushions, then it wasn't an invisible zip, it was a regular zip, but that was So Outdoor Living. Remember your discount. Now then, I'll be honest with you. If you're a Half Yard Club member, you'll get 10% discount on my website. If you're not fussed about having the book signed, Half Yard Club members will get 30% discount from Search Press. So have a look on the book section on the website. So I mean, but they won't be signed because Search Press send them out from their offices in Tunbridge Wells. So just if you want to save a bit of money, if you don't want my scribble in it, then you can order directly from them, and it'll be a bit cheaper. Thank you, Lisa. I'll see you again next week. Do take care, enjoy your sewing, keep your pictures coming in, and I shall see you again very soon. Let me just check over here that everybody is up to date. I will go back through your messages afterwards as well and just make sure I haven't missed anything. And I shall see you on Wednesday. Thank you. Where do you find a makeup bag? Sharon, have a look on the videos on the Facebook page, and there's thumbnails of all of the projects that we do there anyway. So Sharon's go. All right, we're up to, I don't want to go. I'm quite enjoying the chat. I shall see you again on Wednesday. Otherwise, I shall see you here again next Saturday at 11 o'clock. I hope you've enjoyed the morning with me, and I've enjoyed your company as well. Thank you for being with me. So take care, and I shall see you again soon. Bye bye.